not it. So the veil is a metaphor for whatever it is you use to cover the pain that you had. So we all have different ones.
Okay. So now you
so it's like blue and cream. Yeah. Yo, I'm interested. I'm gonna hand this right to wifey.
So
up in the crib.
So when did you get started in writing?
So I've been writing all my life. Is an outlet for me to journal, and to write. It turns into poetry. Sometimes it turns into a song. Sometimes it's a quote. Sometimes it's just what it is. So it's just an outlet, a way for me to get out what's in here and put it on paper. And I never intended to publish it or give it to anybody or share it, but just to get it out of me.
So when you started going through this process, did it feel like self-help for you? Did it feel like therapy for you?
Absolutely, that's exactly what it is.
And when you came out on the other side, how did you feel?
It's still therapy for me because I go back and read it, and sometimes it's hard and sometimes it's very enlightening. But I'm always I've said it to Jay many times, I can't believe I said it. That helped me through today, and I wrote it. But in the moment that I was writing it, I didn't realize it was helping me.
Nice.
I was just getting out with the words that came to me in here.
Okay. So as a black woman, I think a lot of times we hide behind, and I'm going to use veil because it relates to your book, we hide behind a lot of things, whether it be our face, whether, your smile, whether it just be your toughness, your everything. So what do you expect black women who might pick this book up to get from this?
Or any woman.
Or any woman. Well, I only speak for black women because I'm a black woman.
Understood.
Absolutely. Black women first. First and foremost, black women, I want to help us.
Right.
But yeah, so I would expect them to, first of all, self-reflect. We talk about the black women and first of all, our relationship between each other is torn.
Yeah.
The first thing we do when we see a sister is look her up and down and try to assess her. But you should be assessing yourself. Because why are you looking at this other sister and thinking negative?
Looking for her
Or
flaws.
why can't I compliment a sister and say, oh, I like your glasses. And her not say, oh, she being Joe. Because that's what they say in Philly.
Or she
oh, she corny. She all Joe. So self-reflection is first.
Yeah. Agreed. And so, is this the...
Yeah, and how the brain works and
Mental health.
mental health, things like that. So
Understood.
that's why I say you got to read the book because it combines. That's why it's like a self-help memoir.
Okay.
So it puts Shannon's personal experiences with the technical information, the poetry, the journaling, all of that.
It's like tying the framework to the reflection. Understood.
I'm looking forward to this. So how much is the book? If people want to get this, how much is the book?
It's $12.95.
What? If y'all don't get this book?
Paper-Chase Publications.com is the official website. It's also available in Kindle format on Amazon.com.
Okay, that's love. And so we're going to move into the Suicide Tuesday. Hold on.
It does have a lot of sex scenes.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. This is the segue.
It does have a lot of sex scenes.
If Jill Scott...
And it's about Molly. So Molly is a drug that, people... That's why it has a lot of sex scenes in it. So basically what happens is the dude, he's a 25-year-old married dude. He has a newborn daughter. He gets into an argument with his wife and his parents, so they live together. He gets kicked out the crib. He goes with the neighbor girl, runs into her.
And gets on Molly.
They do Molly. He does Molly for the first time. He thinks it's going to be all fun and games. And it takes place over the course of 1 week, and he kind of snaps out, and then it goes down, it goes digital. So but there's a lot of...
Wait a minute.
There's a lot of stuff that happens.
Oh, this is going to be a good one. Molly.
You got more than one of that one?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I had a good experience on Molly.
Good book. I read it in a day.
Thank you.
I had a good experience on Molly, so I'm interested.
Seems like you want to tell us about this story.
Do you really
Just
online?
tell us about the story. Go ahead. Do it.
I exercise the right not to incriminate myself.
There you go.
Dang, brown girl, I was trying to get
We was just talking about your man not incriminating yourself.
I'm not going to incriminate myself. But I mean, all my Molly exploits was before Mrs. Barksdale, but still, I don't. Yeah.
I actually got this book I did the one time I did Molly.
It was you must have had a great day.
No. I mean, it wasn't.
The book's not called Great Day. It's called Suicide Tuesday.
That's a valid point.
Right.
No,
I'm just saying the experience I had. This was not my thought.
I was going through it at the time when I took Molly, so that's why like I was put on to it. Like I had seen these experiences, and it talks about that in the book where the boy's like, I don't want to be rolling around butt naked because that's what everybody you were seeing online. People going viral, rolling around butt naked, taking that bad Molly, but supposedly it was the good connect. So it wasn't. It was good quality Molly that I did that one time 5 years ago, but it wasn't like I was like.
I don't know the difference between a good and bad batch.
I mean,
I just had a good batch.
If you wasn't, I mean, probably if you ain't snap out and lose your mind, it wasn't too bad of a batch.
No.
Probably. I'm not a Molly expert.
I had an excellent night that night.
That's what's up. It was probably a good batch.
And rhymes.
So you say you read this book in a day?
Read it in a day.
Oh, I got free time
kept
next
me
weekend.
I didn't even have no free time when I read it.
Really?
I was like at work, like, Jay, I can't put this joint down.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, this all came from your experience with a Molly.
Yeah, basically, I took Molly. I knew a couple people that sold it. I took Molly, and I was up. I don't sleep a lot anyway, so you don't be sleeping on that joint.
Like an Adderall.
I was rolling this. I was going to name it Rolling.
Rolling.
I was going to name it Rolling, but I was up, and then I'm like, I felt pretty good as far as my mood was concerned because I was going through some personal things when I took it. And so I was like, what could be possibly wrong with this joint? So I'm sitting in my truck, this is my weirdness, right? I'm sitting in the truck blowing, trying to get tired, right? And I'm researching Molly. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm researching it.
After you took it, right?
And you
might want to research it before you
hours later. Because I'm like, I felt relatively good as far as what could be wrong with this. That's where my mind is going, like what could be wrong with this. When I looked it up, MDMA. See, MDMA is the active ingredient in ecstasy, but ecstasy got other shit in it. But Molly is like the purest form of ecstasy.
Oh.
But the MA stands for methamphetamine. So that's, as soon as I read that, I'm like, oh, I'm not doing this again. Because that's where there's like the family of crystal meth. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I probably would have been like every time. And that's basically what happens. It's like a what if. Like every time the bull gets it, once he takes it the first time, every time, not without going into too much, he's like, he starts getting depressed again. He's like, oh, let me pop some more. Let me do some more.
And that's the crazy thing. What they made Molly for, though, ecstasy. It was like a anti-depression drug.
Most of that stuff comes from like military applications.
Yeah.
Even like the LSD back in the 50s.
So I think the pure MDMA is supposed to be like, it's not supposed to be as bad, like as far as health wise. It's like all the shit you get on the street and they start adding stuff and you start getting the fake shit.
Yeah, but still, like just the chemical composition of the joint. I feel like somebody was telling me that I was talking to this boy about this a couple weeks ago, and he was saying something similar. I mean, I ain't no expert or no chemist or no physicist. I'm just saying, like, the chemical composition is something that's a methamphetamine and how it affects your body over time. Yeah. It's not something that I would recommend.
No, I'm not recommending Molly for anybody, but if you did a Molly and had the night that I had,